Right. So this one, you really sent in a wild one this time.
Yeah.
This article from Premium Times, a Nigerian news site. And the headline is really something.
Yeah.
How gospel singer who allegedly beheaded girlfriend was nabbed police.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
published just a few days ago on January 13th, 2025.
Very recent.
A gospel singer, you know,
Right.
known for their faith and spirituality, accused of such a brutal crime. I have so many questions about this case.
That's very strange.
It's baffling how someone who, sings about faith could be accused of such brutality.
It definitely throws you off guard, right?
Yeah.
You have this image of a gospel singer and then the, horrific nature of the crime.
Yeah,
And it just raises so many questions.
Yeah.
What could lead someone to this?
exactly.
It makes you want to dig deeper,
Yeah,
try to understand the complexities of the situation.
absolutely. So the article focuses on Oluwatimilin Ajay,
Okay.
this gospel singer who was arrested in Nasarawa State, Nigeria. He's accused of beheading his girlfriend, Eleoho Salome Adaidu,
Wow.
who was just 24 years old
Okay.
and serving in the National Youth Service Corps.
Oh, yeah. What is that?
Yeah, what is that?
So the NYSC is this program in Nigeria
Okay.
that all graduates participate in for a year.
Okay.
It's designed to promote national unity,
Gotcha.
give young people some work experience,
Right.
kind of like a mandatory service year.
Oh, so it's like kind of a
Yeah.
rite of passage in a way.
Yeah, in a way.
Okay, wow. So that just adds another layer to this whole thing.
Right.
She was serving her country,
Yeah.
and then this happens.
It's really sad.
It's just heartbreaking.
Yeah, tragic.
The article goes on to describe how Ajaya was caught because a motorcyclist he hired
Oh.
noticed blood dripping from his luggage.
Oh my gosh.
Can you imagine that?
No.
So that ultimately led to his arrest. Wow.
And then the police found Eliojo's remains at Ajayi's residence.
It's a grim discovery.
Yeah, it is.
And it gets even more complicated
Yeah,
when you consider Ajay's online persona.
right.
He had this TikTok account,
Oh, interesting.
Caesar,
Okay.
where he posted, motivational content,
Uh-huh.
even videos about his faith.
So he was really,
Yeah.
trying to project this
Yeah.
image of positivity and good.
Almost like he was living a double life online.
Right, and then there's this one video that has everyone talking.
Right. There's this one video where he's
Yeah.
dismissing the idea of village people,
Okay, what is that?
and this is like a
Yeah.
really deep-seated belief
Okay,
in Nigerian society
right.
where they attribute misfortune to
Okay.
these malevolent spiritual forces
Gotcha.
working against a person,
Right.
basically blaming bad luck on witchcraft.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
So here he is, a gospel singer,
Right.
denouncing this concept of
Yeah.
spiritual forces causing harm,
Right.
and then he's accused of this horrific crime.
It's like, I bet the irony isn't lost on people
No, not at all.
who follow these beliefs.
The article mentions that social media just blew up.
Oh, yeah.
People were flooding his comments with these sarcastic remarks about his village people catching up to him.
Right.
It's a very
Yeah.
stark illustration of how this belief really permeates Nigerian culture.
Right.
Yeah.
It's really interesting.
Sometimes it's used to kind of explain away bad things.
Right.
Other times it's pointed to as the cause of someone's downfall.
Yeah, it's kind of a scapegoat in a way.
Yeah.
Interesting. And
Yeah.
it makes you wonder,
Right.
what did Ajayi really believe?
Yeah.
The article mentions his 2020 album,
Okay.
God of the Earth,
Uh-huh.
and how he said the title track was
Yeah.
inspired by him, rediscovering his faith.
Mhm.
But then you have this horrific crime.
Right. How do those two things coexist?
Yeah.
In one person.
Exactly. And how does this belief in village people
Right?
play into all of this?
Yeah.
Is it a genuine belief
That's a good question.
for some?
Yeah.
Is it a scapegoat for others?
Right.
Maybe a little bit of both.
Could be both.
This case really makes you think twice about, online personas.
Definitely.
Someone can project this image of positivity
Right.
while harboring these dark secrets.
Mhm.
It's disturbing to think about the potential for darkness
Yeah.
lurking beneath the surface,
It really is.
even in someone who seems so devout.
Exactly.
It's scary.
Yeah. And it forces us to question our assumptions about people,
Yeah,
about faith,
for sure.
about what drives someone to such extremes.
It's a lot to unpack.
Yeah, it is.
It is.
Yeah, it's like something out of a horror movie, except this is real life with real consequences.
Right.
As I was reading this article, it struck me that
Yeah.
this isn't an isolated incident.
Yeah. The article mentions other recent cases
Yeah.
involving human remains.
You're right. It seems like there's this disturbing pattern
Yeah.
emerging in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Like just last September,
Yeah.
there was that case of Ayomide Adlai.
Mm-hmm.
This university student
Right.
arrested for murdering his friend,
Wow.
Christiana Idowu, in Lagos.
And then not even 3 months later,
Right.
Taiwo Yimitan was caught in Ogun State with a human head and other body parts.
Oh,
It just sends chills down your spine. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
And those are just 2 examples.
Right.
In December, Yusuf Adinohi was arrested in Ondo State with 8 human skulls
Wow.
in his possession. These cases, along with Ajayi's, paint a very grim picture.
A very grim picture.
It makes you question
Wow.
what is driving this surge in ritualistic violence.
It's a big question.
It is.
And the article suggests that many people believe that these crimes are connected to the desire for quick wealth,
Yeah, especially among young people.
especially among young people.
In Nigeria,
Yeah.
what do you make of that connection?
It's complex, you know. While it's easy to point to greed, you know,
Yeah.
like individual greed, I think there's deeper societal issues at play here.
Okay.
Nigeria, like many countries,
Yeah.
is grappling with economic hardship
Yeah.
and social inequality.
Of course.
When you factor in things like lack of opportunity,
Yes.
high unemployment,
Yeah.
the erosion of traditional values,
Yeah.
it kind of creates this breeding ground for desperation.
So you're saying it's not as simple as just blaming it on greed?
It's not as simple as that, no.
Okay.
It's much more nuanced
Right.
than that.
Yeah.
You know, when young people feel like they have
Yeah.
no legitimate path to success, no way to climb out of poverty,
Right.
they become vulnerable to these dangerous beliefs.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You know, they might see these ritualistic killings as like
Yeah.
a shortcut to wealth,
Yeah.
a way to bypass the struggle.
Right.
It's obviously a very dangerous and distorted worldview,
Yeah.
but it's fueled by
Real problems.
real societal problems.
So in a way, these ritualistic crimes could be seen as a symptom of a much larger
A symptom is
societal illness.
precisely, it highlights this need to
Yeah.
address the root causes of things like poverty, inequality, lack of opportunity.
Yeah.
You can't just focus on punishing the perpetrators.
Right.
You have to create a society
Right.
where these desperate measures seem less appealing.
That makes a lot of sense, but how do you even begin to tackle
Yeah,
such deeply rooted problems?
it's a multifaceted challenge for sure.
Yeah.
But I think education plays a crucial role here.
Okay.
You know, we need to empower young people
Right.
with critical thinking skills, encourage them to question these beliefs,
Right.
and provide them with alternative pathways to success.
It's almost like they need a new narrative, a different story to believe in one that doesn't involve
Exactly.
harming others to get ahead.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
It's about fostering hope
Yeah.
and opportunity.
Right.
If young people feel like they have a genuine chance to succeed through hard work,
Yeah.
through education,
Yeah.
they'll be less likely
Yeah.
to fall prey to these.
Dangerous superstitions.
Yeah, it's about showing them a different path,
Yeah.
a path that leads to a brighter future
Yeah.
for themselves and for Nigeria.
That's a powerful point. This
Yeah.
deep dive has taken us on a real roller coaster
Yeah, it has.
of emotions.
Yeah.
You know, we started with this one shocking case,
Right.
but it's clear that this runs much deeper.
It does.
You know, it's about a society grappling with
Yeah.
complex issues, and these ritualistic crimes are
Right.
just one symptom of that struggle.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a stark reminder that
Yeah.
we can't just look at the surface.
Yeah.
You know, we have to delve into these underlying causes,
Yeah.
these societal pressures, the economic realities that contribute to these horrific acts.
For sure. Yeah, it really makes you think about the role of, you know,
Yeah.
traditional beliefs and superstitions in all this.
Right.
You know, how do those beliefs
Yeah.
shape people's actions,
Yeah.
especially when they're facing hardship and lack of opportunity?
It's a delicate balance, you know.
Right.
Traditional beliefs can be a source of comfort
Yeah.
and community, but they can also be
Right.
exploited and twisted to justify harmful practices.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar to how Ajayi was using
Right.
his online persona
I can tell
to
you.
project a certain image
Yeah.
while allegedly hiding a much darker reality.
You're right. It's a reminder that
Yeah.
appearances can be deceiving,
That-
both online and in the real world.
In real life.
And it makes this case even more unsettling because
Yes.
it challenges our assumptions about people and the motivations behind their actions. Someone who sings gospel music and posts motivational content online,
Right.
accused of a brutal beheading,
It's hard to
too, doesn't compute.
Yeah, it doesn't add up.
Yeah.
It forces us to confront
Yeah.
the complexity of human nature.
Right.
You know, we like to categorize people as good or bad.
Yeah.
But the reality is
Yeah.
much more nuanced than that.
For sure.
You know, we all have the capacity
Oh, yeah.
for both darkness and light within us.
Yeah.
And sometimes under immense pressure or driven by desperation,
Right.
that darkness can take over.
So what can we, the listeners,
Yeah.
take away from all of this?
That's a good question.
It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the darkness of this case.
Yeah.
And the larger issue of ritualistic killings.
Right.
Where do we even go from here?
I think the key takeaway here is the importance of critical thinking.
Okay.
We can't just accept things at face value,
Mhm.
whether it's someone's online persona or deeply ingrained beliefs.
Right.
We need a question to analyze, to consider different perspectives.
Right. So it's not just about what we see on the surface.
It's not just about the surface, no.
Yeah.
It's about thinking critically
Yeah.
about the information that we're presented with.
And I think it also highlights the importance of addressing those underlying issues
Absolutely.
that contribute to these problems.
Yeah.
You know, poverty, inequality,
Right.
lack of opportunity. These are the breeding grounds
They are.
for desperation and violence.
Exactly. We can't just focus on punishing individuals.
Right.
We have to work towards creating a more just
Right.
and equitable society.
It's a much bigger issue
It is.
than just, these individual cases.
It's a societal issue.
This deep dive has certainly been a journey.
It has.
We started with a single news article,
Right?
but it's opened up a much larger conversation about
Okay.
faith morality, societal pressures,
Yeah.
and the complexities of human nature.
It's a lot to process.
It's a lot to process, but it's a conversation we need to have.
We do. And as we've seen, this isn't just a Nigerian problem.
Right.
These issues, driven by greed, desperation,
Yeah,
harmful beliefs can surface anywhere.
for sure. Anywhere in the world.
So, let this be a reminder to examine
Yeah.
our own communities,
Yeah.
to challenge harmful norms,
Mm-hmm.
and to work towards creating a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive.
Well, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. I know it's been a heavy one, but I hope it's also been thought-provoking.
Me too.
And as always, we encourage you to
Yeah.
continue exploring this topic.
Right.
Do some research and engage in conversations, challenge your own assumptions.
Absolutely.
It's through open dialogue and a commitment to understanding
Yeah.
that we can begin to address these complex issues and work towards a better future.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
And keep those sources coming. You never know what we'll uncover next.
Please ensure you like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you next time.
Okay.